Hello and welcome to Factorio Fixit. My name's Nicky Brute and let's get cracking with another factory. This one's from a fellow called Donbo. Now he sent me an email, this is a while ago now, this is the middle of March, this one's from. And he said, big fan of your series, hopefully I've learned a few things from it. I have an older save I'd like to take a look at. It's a game I'll complete eventually. Now, basically he just wants me to have a look at anything I want, and there was one thing in particular, and that was oil. So let's start with oil, and let's see if we can improve his setup. So you can see now that we've got this is all connected, that's connected up there, so no oil. But you'll notice something interesting. These pump jacks aren't moving for some reason. Now pump jacks will stop moving for one of two reasons. Firstly, they have no electricity. Okay, so if I was to unplug it, you see that nothing's moving now. Or the other reason is that their pipes are full. So here we've got this curious situation where pipes are full and then pipes are empty. So what we need to do is actually just hook all this up, and we should be good to go. Now I'm thinking that what I'll do is I'll just, I've got the pipes to do it. I'll just extend, I'll grab that and I'll grab that. So what I'll do is I'll just extend this down. Okay, that's going to hook that up to there. I'm going to grab something from here. We might be able to actually extend this all the way out. Oh, look at that. So theoretically, once I connect all of this up, you can see that they work for a moment to pressurize everything again. Okay, there we go. Let there be life. Now you notice that these are pretty low yield. So there's 0.1 and 0.2. Now there was some debate about which was the better way of going with regards to modules. Whether it's better to put speed modules in, so speed plus 20%, or if it was better to put productivity in. Now I'll have to look up that little thread because it was very interesting, and there was one that was better than the other. But hopefully that creates more crude oil for us. You can see now that it's kind of stabilized. So that's full, that's full, that's full. Okay, so we're going to pack that full. Now down here, let's just check all the routing and everything. Wait, let me through. Yep. So that seems to be all connected. Okay, and then it comes back up in here. Ooh. Okay, no. And then it gets converted into petroleum gas. Yep, that's all okay. And it comes out here as plastic. Well, look, that all seems fine to me. We've got some solid sulfuric acid going on, so you'd be happy with that. That is not ideal, but okay, we can live with it, I think. Let me just grab a splitter here and some belt. Again, this isn't ideal, but it's going to force the line to be pressurized, or fully compressed, I should say. Now, something I noticed here is that we come up and around, and we probably don't need to do that, to be honest. What we could do is something a little bit more straightforward than that. But something to remember is that when you route belts up and around, you introduce lag into your factory. And that can be a bad thing, because that means that your factory can become less responsive. Just spin that round to there. Oh, that's the wrong way. Come up to here, right? Alrighty, there we go. In fact, we could go one better. Right? What if we something like that. That would work too, I feel. Now if I spin this around, and it's the little things. Like we ran through that Fixit with Exterminator the other day, where we got 20% just by changing how the belts moved. 20%. And whilst we're going to get slowdowns in here, it's not. This belt's going to be more than enough for what we wanted to use it for. Now we'll just refresh that because it looked like there was a bit of an issue there. Refresh this as well. Yep, that's okay. Yep, that's okay. Outstanding. Now you'll notice here that this, no matter what happens, it's always going to load it onto the right side of the belt. So we can get away with double loading this belt, and it's just going to mean that we've got a little bit more storage on the line, and more storage overall. Now, okay, that's restricted. It's restricted too. See, now this I probably don't agree with. And this I definitely don't agree with. You notice that we've got, well, these this slows down belts, so I don't think we'll have room to do it properly. We'll see what we can fit in. There we go. So that'll work. Now what I want to do here is get a rebalancer that doesn't have that slowdown, that ugly slowdown. And this is still not 100%, but it's better. Indeed, we can make it better again just by introducing a little red belt here. Okay, we'll throw that in. Rightio. I think that's probably got it covered for us. Now this is interesting. What I prefer to see here is good first principles. There we go. Keep things in straight lines where possible, avoid curves, and you'll have a fun time. Now this up and around skewness of the belt is interesting, and it's probably not enough blue circuits. Normally you need about 11 of them. Let's just research some stuff, get that going. Now here we have an interesting situation where if those belts aren't being fully utilised, which, you know, okay, fair enough, and things are being squished in against one another, and it's an interesting way of making it work, and that's probably the most important thing. So this is all waiting for green circuits, so that means that we need to just press refresh on these little bad boys. Obviously they're stopped for a reason. It's probably that glitch that I keep talking about. There we go. I like how Donbo's included some buffer storage where he can. And the bus is pretty robust looking. So what we'll do is we'll just introduce a little bit of a better rebalancer here. So, whoops. And I just spun that the wrong way. Silly me. Okay. So that'll do the job for us, I'm thinking. Nice little bit of buffer storage, happy days. And yeah, it's a nice little factory. In Donbo's email to me, he said he was playing around with his lab setup, and the only thing I would change is yeah, how this works. Because obviously this is made up to be a requester chest eventually, but he mentioned that he didn't like the straight line setup because it left labs not doing anything. I don't think that that's entirely accurate, because they're only doing nothing if you don't have the throughput to support them. If you've got enough throughput to support them, you'll be fine. It looks like it's going okay. Not a bad little build actually. It's got speed modules in them. Yeah, that's all okay. What we might do is just change this around a little bit. Now then, what to do? I know it's ugly, but we'll just have to work with it. Now, copper cable is often where these things slow down, so we want to make sure that it can get the materials and then get them out again quickly. So now what I'll do is actually just feed both of these. You notice that we're starting to really pick up the pace with the production here, and we can really pack this belt full of copper cable. Make sure that we're getting the most out of these factories. You can see that they're quite slow, so potentially we could actually expand it upwards and get a little bit more production from it. You can see that green circuits are a bit of an issue, and the reason for that is actually probably these little bad boys. These need to be faster. We get, because they were actually holding up everything. So right now, okay, if we have a look at the red, you can see the red ticked up when I changed over those inserters. So everything was waiting because there was too many items in these boxes. Okay, because they're restricted. So this was waiting on the box, and this couldn't actually get them on the line quick enough. Now, what I prefer to do is to have a couple of these set up so that you can really pack a yellow belt full and ensure that you're really feeding everything in your factory to a nice high standard. So that's all that done. Well, I think there's lots of fun to be had. This battery belt is an interesting thing though. And that's something you want to try and avoid if you can. Ideally what you'd do is you'd get kind of the blue circuit build over to the right and get it away from this in here, because then what you can do is you can route your green inserters over here somewhere, get your red inserters somewhere down here, and steel somewhere down here as well. Doing it this way, it means that you have to find a way getting your batteries through, also of getting your green inserters all the way through the factory. You can see that there's bits and bobs and jumping up and down and around and so on and so forth. So this is the same thing for your corners. And I don't know why people don't see that. I think it's possibly a function of looking at a problem for so long that you go cross-eyed. So yeah, let's just have a quick look outside. So he's got some trains running and getting some resources, but yeah, ain't nobody got the time for that. And yeah, it all looks pretty good. Let's go and have a look out here. Oh, there's nothing out there. Okay, we're not going to look out there then. Smelter setup looks rather small, to be honest. Cool looking power plant. I like the little underground in between the banks of boilers. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it all seems to be going quite nicely. Donbo's definitely going to finish this one. It's just a matter of time, that's for sure. I think that oh, actually, I need to probably sort this mess out. Now the thing about red circuits is you don't need that much throughput, but you want to keep things. Ideally, you want to make sure that you follow the basic principles as much as you can. It's just when you get used to building a certain way, it prevents problems from arising. You know, they just never happen. You know, and you'll never run into a throughput problem because you've routed something in a weird way. So we'll do the same thing, and we'll try and avoid all the corners. That's what we'll try and do anyway. There we go. And that's still pretty ugly, but it's a little bit better. Now this, you can see that this is a pretty nice setup. And I like fast inserters, so I'll do it that way. Now, whilst I'm running around doing all of this, something important to remember is that often you're not actually going to need the full throughput. For example, these batteries are never going to need the full throughput for 4 blue science. If you had 11 blue science, yeah, maybe you'd probably need more throughput. But this isn't strictly needed, and it's important to remember that, because often you don't need things to be 100% efficient, you just need it to work. Because you can see here that the output of these is quite slow. Oh, okay. So right now, right. So what's happening here? Oh my sweet giddy aunt. Okay. Let me make some changes here because green science is actually struggling, which is surprising to me because green science never struggles. But there you go. So that is the transport belt probably sorted. We'll try that. Rightio. So now what we need to do is just sort out how this is all going to work. So what we need, okay, is some way of splitting this 50-50. So what I'm thinking is to come back here somewhere. Right, so that's what we've got to play with. Oops. Wonderful, armor crafted. So we'll keep just researching things so that we've got the strain on the factory. Now, this is a pretty tight space to be working it in, but oh no, I needed that. Bring that back. Thank you. So what we'll do is, yep, this is going to work. So we need a way of making sure that 50% of our inserters come down to this little factory here. So what we'll do is we'll do a little, oh dear, okay. So this is where a little bit of game knowledge helps. So right now I'm going to do something that really shouldn't be allowable because physics. But we're going to kind of make the Mobius intersection. So we see that we've got this one heading this way and this one heading this way. And because of the way the game's coded, you can actually do that. Like a red underground won't interfere with a yellow underground. So you can see these batteries are still flowing through nicely. And on the odd occasion that a yellow one pops out, it does come down here. So, with that in mind, what we need to do is sort out so that we can get it into this factory here. I'll do something really ugly, because I'm just about out of time, and coming up with an elegant solution here is probably out of the question. So you can see that now we've got that up and running and working. This here is waiting for iron plate. So this would require a fix here on actually getting the routing right. So one thing that will help though is this. There we go. It will help slightly. It's not going to solve the problem completely. But it's all little things. If I wanted to really solve the problem, I do that. And what that's going to do is actually going to shift 50% of what's incoming over here. And that's probably ill-advised. You probably wouldn't want to do that for your factory. Is to reduce the throughput here to one belt. But just as a quick fix, that'll get me that. And now what I look at doing is actually increasing my iron production, trying to get this really packed through here, so that I can draw, less than 50% off the belt and still get the throughput that I need. You can see that we're really struggling, but such is the build here, and it would take a little bit of work to get it up to speed. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next factory. And yeah, who knows what the future could hold. I'm thinking that we need to play a factory by a fellow called Mwahaha. So that could be fun.